The year is 1901. Teddy Roosevelt becomes president following William McKinley's assassination. The automobile was a rarity. There is no such thing as a World Series or a Rose Bowl. In downtown Chicago, one of the most impressive stories in American sports history is about to begin. On the second floor of the Welsbach Building, 6 bowling lanes have been constructed to serve as the home for the first American Bowling Congress Championships tournament. 205 men will compete in 5-man team, doubles, and singles categories for a grand total of $1,592 in prize money. The entry fee was set at $5 per man per event. Handsome gold-plated medals featuring a symbolic eagle were awarded to the champions. And the tournament's first hero was New York native Frank Brill, who rode a 648 series to win the singles title and a $55 cash prize. The ABC tournament has grown from a 4-day event into a competition that lasts 5 months and will welcome more than 60,000 bowlers to Knoxville, Tennessee in 2003. One of its many traditions is visiting a different city every year, traveling from New York to Seattle, from St. Paul to Corpus Christi, to give bowlers from all corners of America an opportunity to participate. The tournament is usually conducted in civic arenas, convention centers, or military armories. A small army of carpenters and electricians, using enough wood to build 3 ranch-style houses, work a month to install the lane beds and equipment needed to run the tournament. The tournament has many unique features, but one of the most impressive is the massive scoring units above the lanes, which enable spectators to follow the action. Keeping score on the giant scoreboards wasn't always a simple task. When pins were set by hand, pin boys would shout the pin count up to the boardmen, who manned the giant scoreboards. Judges sat on towers at both ends of the lanes to watch for fouls. Since 1901, winning an eagle has been the symbol of winning an ABC title. For as long as you continue to bowl, an eagle is displayed next to your name on the gigantic scoring units. The roster of ABC champions is the who's who of bowling. In 1908, a tall, slender young man from Fort Wayne, Indiana began a remarkable journey that may never be equaled. Over a span of 71 consecutive years, Bill Dorman never missed an ABC tournament. Ironically, 1908 was the year Joe Norris was born. Norris eventually matched Dorman's 71 years of participation, but he proved to be a more accomplished player, winning 3 titles. In 1992, Norris broke Dorman's career pinfall record, and in his 71st and final appearance in Albuquerque in 2000, Norris boosted his pinfall record to an amazing 123,770 pins. Sadly, Norris died 2 months before he was scheduled to bowl in his 72nd tournament in Reno the following year. In 1913, Philadelphia's Billy Knox became an instant legend when he rolled the first perfect game in tournament history. 10 years later, Knox topped the 2,000 mark for the first time to win the All-Events title. The tournament not only survived World War I and the Great Depression, but grew and prospered. In 1941, ABC decided to recognize its early stars. The first ABC Hall of Fame class inducted in St. Paul included Hank Marino, Joe Bodas, Ad Carlson, Harry Steers, Peter Howley, Charlie Daw, Gil Zunker, John Koster, Herb Lang, Mort Lindsay, and Jimmy Smith. World War II had a profound impact on the tournament. To help support the war effort, ABC suspended its showcase event in 1943. When it returned to action in Buffalo in 1946, the tournament really hit its stride. The golden era of beer teams hit a peak in the late 40s and early 50s. The Budweisers of St. Louis may be the most famous, but the greatest team in ABC tournament history arguably was E&B Beer, which later became the Pfeiffer Beer Team. Fred Bujak was the first to win 8 ABC titles as a member of those powerhouse teams. The 1951 tournament, again in St. Paul, was a milestone event. The ABC Hall of Fame elections returned after a 10-year absence, and the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies have been held on the tournament lanes ever since. Joe Bowler made his debut in St. Paul in 1951. This tradition involves one bowler selected at random from the opening squad to reign over the tournament. Dressed in a cape and wearing a crown, Joe Bowler has rolled the ceremonial first ball every year since. The 1951 tournament marked the end of ABC's racial barrier. A pair of future ABC Hall of Famers, Lafayette Allen and Bill Rodman, bowled with the Allen Supermarket team of Detroit and became the first team of African-American bowlers ever to compete in the ABC. Also in St. Paul, Detroit's Lee Juglard won a new exhibition match play competition, pitting top bowlers from across the U.S. against a field of Minnesota stars. That exhibition was the forerunner to ABC's most prestigious individual championship, the ABC Masters. In 1954, Seattle introduced the center aisle, allowing all bowlers to march into the arena for team competition. It remains a tradition that gives tournament players a thrill unlike anything else in the sport. In 1956, Texan Bill Lillard made history as the first to win 4 titles in a single tournament. Still active today and one of the elite members of the tournament's 100,000 career pinfall club, Lillard went on to become the second to win 8 ABC titles. In 1957, the year automatic pin setters were used in tournament competition for the first time, Dick Hoover of Akron, Ohio became the first to win back-to-back Masters titles. In 1959, Pfeiffer Beer's Ed Lubansky became one of 3 bowlers ever to win 4 titles in a single tournament. In 1961, 3 years after the formation of the Professional Bowlers Association, ABC introduced a new classic division for professionals. Until its cancellation in 1979, the division produced some truly classic champions. One of them was Hall of Famer Nelson Burton Jr. of St. Louis. He won the first title in 1965 and his last of his record 9 titles in 1979, the year automatic scoring made its tournament debut in Tampa. In between, Burton captured the 1976 ABC Masters. In 1977, Milwaukee amateur Lou Veit performed the impossible, rolling an 804 series in team event, the first 800 in ABC tournament history. 1977 also was the year the legendary Earl Anthony won the first of his 2 ABC Masters titles. In 1989 in Wichita, emerging technology and lane maintenance and bowling balls arrived full blast. Every scoring record was shattered. Mike Albee of Indianapolis won the 1989 ABC Masters. He then added victories in Reno in 1995 and 1998 to become the only 3-time Masters champion. In 1990, Mike Newman of Buffalo, New York, bowled opening weekend and posted scores in team, doubles, all events, and team all events that held up the entire 123-day run of the tournament. 1994 was the year ABC opened its membership to women for the first time. Rayetta Dominguez of Grove, Oklahoma became the first woman champion when she helped Canterbury Lanes #1 win the booster team title in Mobile, Alabama. And Linda Wallace of Tucson became the first woman to compete in the ABC Masters. In Reno in 2001, Christine Kropf of Antioch, California became the first woman to bowl a 300 in the ABC tournament. ABC's inaugural visit to Reno's National Bowling Stadium in 1995 resulted in the largest bowling tournament in history, with more than 91,000 participants. Subsequent visits to the stadium in 1998 and 2001 rank as the second and third largest ABC tournaments ever held. In 1999, ABC unveiled an expanded classified division, creating separate team, doubles, singles, and all events categories to give ABC's lower average members an opportunity to compete. Thousands have taken advantage to experience the greatest show in bowling. During its first 100 years, the ABC tournament has totaled more than 2 million entries. Men and women from all 50 states and several foreign countries have traveled to 47 different cities to compete for shares of more than $70 million in prize money.